So I'm volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club these days, just tutoring high school students in mathematics. And one of the staff members there, he was actually part of desegregating the high schools in New York City. And he
Hmm.
told me this whole story of coming up on the bus and being told to wait on the bus with his other black classmates, and seeing all the policemen outside on horseback in a line holding back the mob of like parents and their kids, and
Hmm.
everyone screaming and yelling trying to protest with the doors of the school chained shut, and he said he just remembers waiting on that bus for 4 hours, and then they were like, we're leaving. And then they left, and then they came back the
Hmm.
next day and kept strategizing and finding new ways just to try to get an education, and he went through that. And, he told this whole story. And then I invited him on this show, to talk about some of his experiences. And he was like, I don't think that I have anything worth sharing. That's what he said.
Hmm.
And I've heard that a lot from people. Actually, virtually everyone who's come on this show has said some version of that they don't
Hmm.
believe that they have something that's worthy of being shared. It never turns out to be true, of course. Every single person who's come on here has a racialized history, life history, and ancestral history. And as soon as we dig into it, we find that there is plenty to share that is valuable, and we talk about it. But I guess my question to you would be, why do you think so many people believe, even people who've been through these historical events, huge historical events that have changed the shape of the country? Why do you think that they believe that they don't have anything valuable to share, or that their stories are not worth sharing?
Hmm. I'm speculating that some of it might be a defense mechanism. My grandfather had a brother who I became aware that in Chicago passed for white, and my grandfather was rather light skinned, and but his brother passed for white. His name was Paul, and I never met him or never really heard anything about that side of the family, and I was told not to bring it up around my grandfather. So we never had a discussion about his brother who was lost to him for making that choice to pass for white. But it was an experience that was painful to him, and I was told by others that he preferred not to talk about it. Um, Sometimes it might be hard to recognize how much you've been impacted by racial matters or by laws or by history. And, there might be things like, me going to my elementary school or high school without knowing the history of what had transpired there in the immediate years before I arrived with it. So, I might not have had anything to say about that experience because I didn't know that it was going on. And then there's life as it is, um, that you grow up and you're accustomed to certain things, you become used to them, and it's your norm. Whereas for other people, they might say that I could have never done that. Like I grew up in Minnesota where it was cold. Well, it was cold all the time, so I never had an issue with the cold in Minnesota because I knew it, I expected it, I lived with it, and it was just something that was. And maybe they feel the same way.
Wise words. Thanks for that reflection. Um, I want to change that. I want to give people a space where they feel like not only that they have something to share, but that they need to share it. That's
Mhm.
part of my goal. Thanks for watching. For access to the full length conversation and all of the 2 hour long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support, and see you next time.